culture is we as a culture have never really pushed anybody away. It's everybody else that have tried to push us away. And so everybody's welcome to the cookout, but you're going to understand that these aren't your rules at the cookout. This is how we get down. This is how we present ourselves. This is how we party. And this is how we really create a community. And that's what it's all about. Facts. And you know, I wanna clear up another elephant in the room is like a lot of people talk a lot of community stuff and want to charge people $20K for an hour, $40K for an hour. Like, you're not really helping the community that way, because if you look at the actual statistics, if you go to
I only know one person charging $40K an hour, bro.
Yeah, shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but all these gurus got some crazy ass prices. You know, the online coach system is flawed as hell right now. But you know, a lot of these people talk, oh, community, I want to help people out, I want to do this, I want to do that, and you don't see them giving back in any type of way except for their cheesy ass free ebook, and nobody want that shit. And so we got to be able to do things for our community where, yeah, of course it's going to cost, but it has to make sense for the community. If you go on ssa.gov, released September 2023, the actual statistics for our community as a Black individual, male, and females would be projected to make less. It's $41,600. And so if you preaching to the mass majority, and that's a year, if you're preaching to the mass majority of a year, you know what I'm saying? How you charging $40K an hour? And that's what they
Peace, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Trust Fund Baby Podcast. And I have a special guest here today. My business partner, my homie. Like, I'm about to say, I've been working with bro for a little bit of time. Like, probably one of the most consistent individuals I know, especially when it comes to podcasting and just everything that he does. I want you all to give a warm welcome to Mastermind Rich. You got several.
Nah, we just got two. It's always about duality. You know, Mastermind Rich, Money Bag Rich. You got both sides of the spectrum. You can't make money without the right mindset for it.
Facts. Well, bro, please properly introduce yourself to the people. Let them know what it is you have going on. And you can just like also, please tell them a little bit about your podcast, especially because we have the podcast summit coming up.
Absolutely. My name is Rich. I go by Money Bag Rich or Mastermind Rich. You know, if I'm more in a podcast setting, you might see Mastermind Rich. If I'm more outside, just vibing with the homies, chilling, you know, you might see Money Bag Rich. But both of those are essential for duality of how I run my business. You know, everything goes off of mindset. We have one of the top podcasts in South Florida where I don't know anybody that has more episodes than us. We drop every single Wednesday Attractive Mindset podcast. We have amazing people on there. And I'm not just talking about entrepreneurs. We have people with 9-to-5s on there. We have people with no jobs on there. We have people with all type of jobs on there. We have millionaires on there. We got people that consider themselves broke. But it's just
have a spectrum of episodes.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's just to show that, you know, success comes in all different forms because everybody's definition of success is different. For some, it's financial, and so for some, it's just being able to live life on their terms. So showcase that.
Even some of my favorite episodes are the ones where you be cooking people. Like, I mean, I'm waiting for one to come out. I don't know if you're gonna release it, but if you do, oh my god,
man, there's a few that I just got in the cut, man. I just got in the cut.
No, so I know that we mentioned you were planning an event this year, and this will be the first. This will be an annual thing, so this will be something you'll be doing every year. Please tell me a little bit about this event. You know.
Yeah, so the event is going to be September 7th this year here in Miami, Florida, and it's going to be called the Cookout. Slogan is, "Are you invited to the Cookout?" And so I want to blend or bring back networking and culture because I feel like everybody want to separate, you know, and make business a whole just different entity.
On some real stuff, how many I call them Europeans. How many white people you inviting to the cookout?
There might be a couple in there, but I you know what I'm saying? They got to be verified. You know what I mean? And like, it's not to say segregation. It's not to say whatever. But even if Europeans come to it, they're gonna see how our culture really gets down.
Yeah,
And
but if we got cool Europeans who we kick it with down here, I'm gonna say
yeah,
Nick, the breatharian, like Nick, super cool. Nick playlist surprised the hell out of me when we was doing the photo.
culture is we as a culture have never really pushed anybody away. It's everybody else that have tried to push us away. And so
Yeah.
everybody's welcome to the cookout, but you're going to understand that these aren't your rules at the cookout. This is how we get down. This is how we present ourselves. This is how we party. And this is how we really create a community. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and I'm thankful that you're having something like this in South Florida because like a lot of us we not from here, so us being able to like establish like a family system, a community, like how you say in South Florida is big. Like a lot of people move here and away from their family in order to start something new, and I know I did that, and I know your people not from here, P people not from here. Brendan people not from almost all of our business partners. None of us are from South Florida, but us being able to have a local community here for us to build with it, I feel like that's detrimental.
Nah, facts. And I wanna clear up another elephant in the room is like a lot of people talk a lot of community stuff and want to charge people 20K for an hour, 40K for an hour. Like you're not really helping the community that way because if you look at the actual statistics, if you go to SSA,
I only know one person charging 40K an hour, bro.
yeah, shit, you know what I'm saying? Hey, but all these gurus got some crazy ass prices. The online coach system is flawed as hell right now. But a lot of these people talk, oh, community, I want to help people out. I want to do this. I want to do that. And you don't see them giving back in any type of way except for their cheesy ass free ebook. And nobody want that shit. And so we got to be able to do things for our community where, yeah, of course it's going to cost, but it has to make sense for the community. If you go on ssa.gov, released September 2023, the actual statistics for our community as a Black individual, male, and females would be projected to make less. It's $41,600. And so if you preaching to the mass majority, and that's a year, if you're preaching to the mass majority of a year, you know what I'm saying? How you charging 40K an hour? And that's what they make in a year. You want them to give up a year of their life?
That's not to the regular average person. That's to that individual who can afford that. And I started to understand that just because of what it is that I do, because I actually went to school for finance. I'm not one of these motherfuckers who just I went to private school my whole life. So like even the podcast that I did earlier this week with my homie Denzel, he's my oldest child's godfather. We had our first economics class together in 6th grade. So like I have testimonies like this is how people was brought up. This isn't something that I just thought was cool to get into, even though money is a necessary component. Education in money is necessary. It's just, people are doing it in a capacity that isn't right. But then you have, like, even with me, my structure is set to where I used to be super accessible. Now I want more time for myself and my family. So I'm buying my time back. So I put systems in place and other people in AI in order to communicate instead of me. Now, if you want access to me, you can pay a higher price point, but I've given you all of the resources in this bubble that you don't have to necessarily use me. But if you need hands-on experience, I can cut your learning curve, but that's something you got to pay for. And one thing I learned when it comes to money, like you can't dictate people's price points. And commerce is a contract as well. So if a goofy is willing to pay that shit on them, bro.
But what I'm saying is, this is where the English language has to be, really pivoted on, because you can't put in the same sentence, I want to help everybody, I want to build community, and then charge that price point, because you're not helping everybody. You're not building community. You know what I'm saying? If you were to say, I'm looking for high level individuals, absolutely charge that shit. You know what I'm saying? Build that. I'm looking for a select few people. Do that. I would get your price.
Community. Well, like, what if that community not for people who haven't broken six figures yet.
Oh, then you got to say that. But that's what I'm saying. They're not being specific out here. They're putting it out there like, hey, I'm for the people. I'm for everybody. I want to be approachable to the world. Because I'm telling you, this is public information. You can watch podcasts. You can go watch their little blogs. You can watch their little shit. Oh, I want everybody to know I'm
Be
approachable.
real, bro. We
Come
know
meet me at these events. Come do this. Come do that. Yeah, but they can't
it is
afford
about money. You know, like how I know it's about money, bro. And
100%.
honestly, I don't think most motherfuckers get up honestly caring about other people outside of themselves or
They
the
don't.
world around them.
They
So,
genuinely don't.
like, to just like, I honestly genuinely love what I do. I know everybody who is around me, like as far as you and Parker, like I know y'all love what it is y'all do. I don't hear y'all complain about it. If anything, we'll complain about the people. We never complain
Nice.
about what it is we do. Like we actually like and love it. So when you're in that position, it's easier for you to make money. But I can't speak for everybody else. Because I love what I do, I don't have a problem assisting people because I also see the benefit in how me helping people, I can also help myself. You feel me? I don't gotta break people over the head. I don't gotta bust your bank in order for me to be, set. This is what I tell people all the time. I'd rather get you in a position where we can do business with each other. And then, like we do an equity program. I much rather we build initially and then I get rev share versus you breaking your bank in order just to talk to me and then you don't get no results. But that's experience though, bro, because you got to also examine how good your system is and are people able to walk away with something. So speaking of, what's your system like?
My system is just a generic system. We basically just follow, and this is why it's also good to just keep up to date with just current things. A lot of people, when they read books, especially, and I'll really tap in with them on reading books, they read old school shit. They read shit from more than a decade ago, and it's not to say that that book doesn't work, but it's a different time, and we have to understand that in the scope of different times, there's 6 factors that shape the way that things go on right now. And how you stay up to date with that isn't even books. There's magazines. People sleep on these magazines. There's
Newsletters.
these newsletters. There's stuff like the HBR, Harvard Business Review, all of that stuff where they have some of the top level people talking about things going on right now. And the way that we've molded leadership and leadership has changed over time, you have to look at how the world is shifting. And so that makes you have to look at global events. That makes you have to look at technology. That makes you have to look at, labor. Yeah, labor relations. That makes you have to look at demographics, and that makes you have to look at social mores. Those are like certain categories that you have to actually understand in order to lead your business properly or to lead your business the right way. If you don't understand these things, you're going to be outdated in your business, no matter what category you're in. People say Trump don't matter, Biden don't matter, which relatively they don't. That's a whole nother conversation. But
oh my god, that I didn't get a chance to watch the debate because I was in the car and I was catching like clips of it live. Man, have you ever just seen old people argue? Like,
I didn't want to watch it, but social media are gonna give you a recap anyway.
You gotta watch it, bro. It's just like you got to. How can you not? How can you not? It's like, bro, the craziest thing is like this is a showdown for the motherfuckers who are supposed to be running our corporate situation. And in all honesty, based on how wild we've previously seen Donald B, I feel like he did very well in not being petty and unprofessional.
Because his team told him shut the fuck up.
And you see, like the most of the world said they believe he's the one who won the fucking election.
Oh, 100%. And he's the one who's probably gonna win because Biden just looked like shit.
All right, so right here, is this a good one? No poverty, gender. Oh yeah, here we go. So right here, I want to get your opinion on this. I'm about to share screen with you.
All right.
All right, present. It should be this one right here. Yes. Okay. You can see that?
Yep.
All right. So this right here is wrong image. So this right here is from Agenda 2030. This has been in place since 2015.
Mm.
Right. So they want all of these things to be implemented by 2030. And when
Whew.
we just go through this is the World Economic Forum in the United Nations.
Okay.
So this is a world agenda.
They ain't doing this shit.
You think so? Let's go through the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You probably just read one.
Nah, I mean, I'm
No,
reading
so
all of them.
listen. Watch. I'm about to show you something. So we go through one, no poverty. Two, zero hunger.
Mhm.
Three, also these things are good to align your business with because you can do government contracting. You could get grants for being aligned with these particular initiatives. They even offer different programs through the United Nations to help you get into these programs because this is what they want the world to look like by 2030.
Okay.
So we in 2024, 6 years. That's enough time to make a strong transition, especially when we're going through these type of economic transitions from
So
fiat
my
dollars to cryptocurrency.
so my question is, no poverty where?
Okay, so this is supposed to be world. This is supposed to be world.
Okay.
So we have no poverty, we have zero hunger, we also have good health and well-being, quality education,
They
which is
just dropped COVID-19.
bro. Let me read the list. I'm not. This isn't
Go ahead.
me. This isn't me. And then also, yeah, that's a conversation we're gonna have shortly. Quality education, gender equality, which we have sure been seeing implemented well after the Obama administration after 2015. Clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy. We're seeing this with the Elon Musk initiative. They're looking to
Man,
create
they
new
have a
power grids.
monopoly on the energy industry right now.
Right now, right now. Decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace and justice and strong institutions, partnership for the goals. So, when we look at this list, one of the main things to highlight, if you can align your business with some of these points, you will get grace with the government and also get access to a lot of funding and money when it comes to government contracting on the federal level, even international, state. All of these things the government works in conjunction with. Now, when we start talking about how no poverty and zero hunger can be implemented, when we start seeing like stuff like BRICS, are you familiar with BRICS?
Nope.
BRICS is, let me pull up BRICS. So BRICS is all of these countries that join together and pretty much is keeping the United States out. BRIC. Okay.
So
Here we
all of
go.
that's not including the United States.
This is underneath the United Nations. So I'm about to show you what BRICS is. This is
I got expelled from high school. So elaborate what the United Nations is, man.
okay. So the United Nations, it's a contract with all of the nations. They come together and they have a collective agreement for them to make like stuff like the Geneva Convention and things, and they create rules and regulations so that there's equality with the other countries.
Okay. And the United States is part of that.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have, this is what BRICS is. BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The term was initially created as BRIC without South Africa by Goldman Sachs economists. So these are countries that have come together in order to outseat the United States, like dollar, pretty much. They're not allowing the United States to come in on BRICS. And because of this, the United States dollar has went from like 2 or 3 to number 10. So BRICS, with all of this digital transitions and things like that, BRICS is going to be one of the first systems that we see that actually start implementing crypto dollars to people. So just imagine, you know how people get stimulus checks every month, you get a payout from the government as long as you're in alignment with their systems. And then we have China, who has a social economic score. So based on the way people walk, if you jaywalk, they'll deduct you, and then this is a ticket you end up paying for. It comes straight out of your wallet. So just by them being able to regulate your economic system, they can ensure that you do have something, but you only keep something if you stay in line. So them being able to ensure that, you know, everybody has money, that's possible. Because if they're giving out stipends in order to make sure that you meet your bare essentials, and then they even said it at the World Economic Forum like a year or two ago. They was like, everybody will be comfortable with owning nothing by 2030. Main reason for that, just think about it. If you don't have a car note, but you have access to cars, how good is that? But you don't own the car. You don't own your house, but you have access to a place to stay every day. Like if you go into this is nothing more than welfare. It's just going to expand in a new aspect. And
I love it. I hear it. You know, I like the acronym. I like BRICS. It sounds like they doing the Lord's work. But this is the United States, and that shit's not happening here. This is
that's not happening here. But when it becomes a world initiative, and also depending on who becomes the next leader of the United States, whichever old man end up running it, I rather the one who keep his eyes open. But when it like he's solely against CDCs. Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, they do not like crypto stuff. They want the power to remain with the people. So you're right. We won't see certain things happen like that. But Donald Trump is known for stimulating the economy. So we possibly will see an different welfare system come about within the next 6 years.
Maybe.
I would hope so, because the current one sucks.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, I feel like even with the presidents or the politicians, there's only but so much those people can do to change our community or change our world, because it really has. It's just like the 1% rule. You ain't got to be 100% better tomorrow. You know, if you weigh 150, you're not finna bench 350, you know, tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And so it's the 1% rule. Get 1% better a day. We are the 1%. All of us that make up the actual community and shit is the 1%. And so if it's up to us to change the communities, if we really want to see the change, they can implement certain laws, implement certain rules. You're still going to have different mindsets on somebody's going to like Trump, somebody's going to like Biden, somebody's going to like neither one of them. Somebody's not going to give a shit. You know, there's so many different perspectives and ways that this could go that it has to change on an individual person level before it even really matters that much on a global level.
But even in retrospect to that statement, when you said it, it made me realize that most people don't understand their position. It's like they don't understand their position. They don't understand the government position in their life, because with you being a citizen, you have agreed for these people to be your caretaker.
100%.
So understand that these people are supposed to make the best decisions for you, but also they know that you don't know. It's in trust law, because you trust one, baby. In trust law, that's called a trustee. The United States is your trustee. They're managing all of your affairs. That's the main reason why you get privileges from them, because you've agreed to let them take care of you. You understand?
But did we really agree, or are we born into it? We didn't have that choice.
No, it's contractual agreement. It's contractual agreement.
But did we agree, or were we born into it?
No, I'm about to tell you. So you weren't born into it. Your parents opted you into it through having a birth certificate and a social security
card. We had no say. That
But
wasn't a thing.
when you become the age of majority, which is over the age of 18, you have the ability to operate as an adult. You just chose not to because you were comfortable with the situation. But this is what I'm
100%.
saying.
And this is
Most
what I'm
people don't
saying
understand a relationship. Yeah.
on a minor level, the 1% cannot change because of the mentality. This is what systematic mindset is. This is going into the realm of psychology. You can't expect somebody to change when they don't know how to change. We've been taught to do certain things a certain way since we was young. This is what money is. This is what this looks like. This is what you're gonna eat. This is what's available in our grocery stores. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see the movies, the TV shows, the instant gratification from social media, all of that stuff. And so with the conditioning that's happening systematically, that's not even a feasible option anymore, to where people can educatedly make that decision of, hey, I don't want to be here.
Like I tell people all the time, marketing is magic, and that's why you gotta really respect the game, especially for people who like for those of us who are on both sides of the camera, because we understand how to operate the camera, and we're also the one that the camera's on. So we understand the editing, the scripting, and also the presentation. Because I tell people all the time, podcasters are like baby actors, bro. We have to get in a mindset, and we have to be comfortable and articulate and smile, create viral moments. This is a job. If you're not good at it, your podcast isn't going to be good
At all.
So like even just understanding the magic that the United States has put into what it has become today, I have no choice but to respect it, bro, because they got this shit on lock. Almost every country do.
Bro, we went from fighting over a 2% T tax to getting taxed on even dying in this country. I'm just let that sink in. We had a whole Boston Tea Party over tea tax.
Bro, that is the wildest thing. Because when you I thank you for saying that. I've never even put that into perspective like that, because one, that lets you know our taxation, we still have a level of control that is coming from outside of the United States structure. That money don't go to us. Are you familiar with the Vatican, right?
Yep.
Okay, so there's the Vatican, and there is one other place that they say, well, the Crown, and possibly one more place, but where the money goes. But there would not be. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it. But
you know me, man. Hey.
So the craziest thing is, when Jay was just here last week, we had watched this documentary, and it was talking about the history of the Vatican, and it cut out crazy, bro, because like we talking about Italy, and we not really realizing like these people over here is real mobsters, and then they came over here. So over there, the Vatican had gotten to a rough spot. This is 1830s. They reached out to the Rothschilds at this time. The Rothschilds bailed them out for millions. It was a number with a four. It had to be like 40 something million. Bailed them out for like 40 million, right? Next thing you know, they're in bed with the Rothschilds. Next thing you know, years later, the Vatican becomes its own government, country, and then even later becomes its own bank.
Yep.
You have to respect it, bro. They were caught up. The Vatican was caught up in so many indictments. Some of the people didn't even go to prison because the laws of protection that was over the Vatican. Even the United States SEC regulations, they be like, they operate like an offshore company. Like they think it's money laundering happening over, and they can't do nothing about it.
Yep.
And you look at it as a power thing, and you learn to respect it. The same thing with the United States. Yeah.
It's literally like a game. How, if people wanted to put their own spin on Monopoly or put their own spin on Uno, that's a better, analogy. People want to put their own spin on Uno, and then the creator of Uno comes out and says, yeah, nah, it's meant to be played this way. You could have the way that you play the game, but they ultimately have the final say.
I see why you used Uno, because in my head I'm like, I think Monopoly better, and then like I get it, because us as people who go to cookouts, we play Uno the way we play Uno.
Yeah. That's all these games. We have our own rules. Spades, you got your own rules. Oh, you play this way. Oh, you play this way. But there's an actual way that it was created and meant to be played.
I've never met somebody who played Monopoly not with the rules. I don't know how you play Monopoly, not the rules. Well, that's in my
Some people
household.
get money under free parking. Some people get more money going past go. Like there's a few different things. Some people get money for jail type shit. Some people do no
We need
community
to
chance cards type shit to make it more interesting. Like it gets weird.
we need to have Monopoly at the cookout with real money.
I mean, not that many
I'm
people
gonna win. I'm gonna
check
win.
out. Not that many people gonna check out. You know what I
No,
mean?
but Monopoly, like for me, and I've always used that as an analogy in order to break down our financial system. One, they give us paper color fiat money, which remind me of the old food stamps. And we know that that doesn't have real value, but you use the paper fiat money to circulate around the world, which is, in my mind, is like a life cycle. So these are years. You make your year around next year, you understand how the world work, and then you're supposed to start acquiring real estate, start getting spaces, start getting businesses, and keep your ass out of jail and keep making it another year around, keep making it past that birthday, keep going past go. So it's a great explanation of how our economic system work and what it is we deal with. And the Parker brothers actually released that game in like 1933, right after they took gold out of circulation. So when fiat money really became a thing. So
Man,
it's a science.
before we even had that, most people don't even understand what our first form of currency was. It was fucking seashells.
So I was just with one of our spiritual advisors. Everybody got mentors. I'm thankful that I found another good mentor. And he had told me at one point in time, salt was actually used as a currency
Yeah,
because I know
salt.
you're talking about cowrie shells.
Yeah,
I
like
usually got cowrie.
yeah.
I got cowrie shells
There's
all the
just so much in this world that we don't understand. We don't know the ocean, space, whatever. A lot of things are relative and all of that stuff. And everybody can speculate in different directions or whatnot. But you even got news that's real news that's not in the real news for some reason or whatever. You know, we
That's
just
not real news. You gotta watch world news, or you gotta be on the
yeah,
dark web to see shit happening.
bro, we just discovered a continent that was lost for 300 years.
No, it wasn't. No, the fuck it wasn't. Okay,
You know what
so
I'm
I
saying?
gotta pull up a map for you. I gotta pull
You
up a
know what
map.
I'm saying? And people are like, huh? How was it going for 300 years? How was it lost? And it's just like shit like that.
I'm about to pull up a map. It's not lost, bro.
It's not lost anymore.
People are selective with what they want to show. That's all. No, it was never lost. So even so, the craziest thing is in indigenous culture, we don't really do like birthdays and stuff. We do like moon cycles, right? So there's 13 moons. So there's also currently 13 zodiacs. These goofies said that they just rediscovered something that had always been there. It was just blocked to them. It's always there. These fools just decide when they want to tell people. That's all that is. It's always there, bro. So let me do an entire screen.
Man, I feel like that's just the state of the world.
Okay, so let's just look at this. Let's scroll through some of this stuff.
So before you show this, how do you feel about Pangea?
I partake in the Pangea because when we what's the easiest way to say it? When they talk about the split or the flood, they actually say some people articulate it as the rain coming down, but it could have been cracks in the surface floor of the earth or underneath the water that cause water levels to rise and then start eroding some of the land or force it to separate. So it's more than enough evidence in order to express that it's a valid theory. So I'm not against Pangea. Now, respectfully, I've been forced to entertain thoughts like this because let's view this image right here. You see this, right?
Yep.
This is the United Nations map. And the United Nations, they display their map as a flat continent. So this isn't a globe map that we always see. So this is the one right here, right? So if we come back over here and we look at this one, I'm building on something you about to see in a second. So
How do you
right
feel
here,
about Antarctica?
Operation Fishbowl, Operation High Jump were United States military operations when they had sent people there, and Fishbowl was them to see if they were in a dome, and High Jump was when they shot a rocket, and it it was so crazy. The bitch hit something and then exploded. So it was there's enough scientific evidence for me not to be ignorant and be like, oh, some of this makes sense. So, and just even thinking about it as the way they articulate space, if we go past the edge of our known world, are you familiar with the concept as above, so below?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Attack on Titan too.
Yeah, so the water that we live in South Florida, is surrounded by water. The water that we have down here with us, they also say that the seas are water in the sky, but
Yeah.
just a different type of water like plasma. So in all forms of creation, let me see if I remember how to spell it. Gagut, Gagut theorem. Right here, Gagut, the theorem, mathematical theorem that unifies all of mathematics into one equation. It was published by Professor Ayivo in 1990 and is represented by one invariant GI. So this is the equation for life right here. This was found by studying all of the forms. Are you about to see I'm about to tie it all together. So
Okay.
when we talk about creation stories, whether it's Christianity, whether it's the Big Bang, whether if it is Kemetic science when they believe they come from the primordial waters of Noon, whether if it's the Dogon people where they believe they come from waters, or whether when we talk about Christianity, when God spoke and he created, these are all different forms of waves. Remember, I said water waves, primordial waters, vibratory frequencies, speech, explosions, Big Bang Theory, all vibratory frequencies of waves of creation. And this is what this explains. But it also sees the common factor of waves, which are expressed as water. And if you see certain planets through the proper telescope, they look like magnified water. So do stars. So when we see these maps and things like this, and what they explain to us as space or outer space or a vacuum, it could be another form of water scientifically. But Obama said when he was in office, the United States has never left Leo, which means low Earth orbit. So if I like, this is some nerd shit. Earth orbit. OR pick low Earth orbit pics images. So right here is what low Earth orbit looks like. It's not even that far out. Let me show you a better one because I know this one kind of hard to see. So let me show you what Leo is back here. Low Earth orbit, a period of around 128 minutes or less. So Leo, this is Leo right here. This is a better picture. So this, they said they never left Leo, bro. Right here. If it's fucking satellite, if you see where the sun is, and the moon should be out. So what does that say about the moon landing? I'm just gonna leave this here.
I don't
Obama
know
said,
what none of this shit means, to be real with you.
I'm just letting you know this is I'm about to shy it all together.
Okay.
But Leo means low Earth orbit. So when we look at the maps, if we remember, I said Operation Fishbowl, Operation High Jump. If they never were able to leave Leo, and they tried to send a rocket out and it hit something,
it hit Leo.
It hit they the way they expressed it is it hit an invisible wall and exploded.
So we live in a matrix
or a dome. In the Bible, it says it's a firmament, and some of other teachings, it also says it's a firmament. So, but then we look at these other maps, like I was saying, and this is why it's always good to just have an open mind, because we don't know everything.
Facts.
And it's okay to ask questions. And I was talking to Oliver about that when we had the podcast, and he was talking about how people would try and reprimand him for asking questions, and I'm like, that's not of God.
They're trying to dictate them.
So when we look at something like this, bro, you see all of the edge, all of the land, like this is the known world that we know, and then it's all these other subcontinents that we never touch right here, and then it's a whole edge of what they project as ice now, but used to be land. These are all maps that predate the 1500, bro. After the 1500, they started giving us globe maps. So they adjusted our mindset and our thinking. And also, when you are people of the earth, the easiest way to disconnect you from something is by miseducating you about it.
Absolutely.
So like it does have its level of relevance, but you know, I wonder when people will actually be willing to talk about things like this. This is the one I actually wanted to show you right here. This is one of my favorite ones. So right here. And then they're talking, you said they just discovered another continent.
Yeah.
These are the ones that we know people to live on right here. And you see all this other ones that they have charted somewhere. But technically, this would be the end of our world, and this would be space, bro. So now you understand what I'm saying? This is crazy.
Okay.
Somebody made these damn maps for something.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the question that is like one of the most $1 million questions. Somebody asked me the other day, like, if you could, talk to whoever or whatever, or a creator or whatever, and ask one question, what would it be? I was like, I don't even know. There's so much to ask. I don't even know what I would ask, especially if it could only be one question.
And do you want to go through the world knowing everything?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I do. It'll be one of those things like, okay, if they tell me the truth, would everybody else believe me if they didn't hear the truth either? Like, I would just be getting called another conspiracist or whatever, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, how you live with that? How do you live with an answer like that? Because just like just knowing like when, let's just say, knowing when you're going to pass, like how do you live with that? You like when you that puts you in a whole different headspace. You be like, because you know how much time you have, you can either get your stuff in order, you can cut up, you can party, and it's the same. Knowledge is responsibility and power.
For people that don't watch anime, this is why I always recommend anime to them, because we have to, give it up to anime one time, more than one time, honestly, because they stuff so much real shit in anime that it's actually insane. And then depending on the anime that you watch, like, it'll be even crazier than The Simpsons, or even crazier than, some of those moments with real life things that you're like, wait, are they trying to say
anime be like soap operas, bro?
I just finished watching this one called Talentless Nana. I don't know if you ever saw that one. Bruh. I don't even want to ruin it for you like that, because you like to use your actual brain. You understand? And so you would like this anime because it's literally somebody who goes into a society of people that develop a bunch of superpowers, and they're isolated on this island as like high school kids or whatever that get isolated to train their powers up to fight the enemies of humanity. When the whole time humanity considers them the enemies of humanity. And so this person goes there to literally kill them off. And like she doesn't have any power. She's just a regular person. And so now she's fighting people as a regular person against people with powers.
This look
And
lit though.
bro, it goes crazy because it's
The
like
line,
it's
the
like
line
Sherlock
work.
Holmes types 5.
I'm big on line work because that'd be the shit that make me not watch a show. If the artwork just look bad, oh my god.
Bro, it's like Sherlock Holmes times 5 because it's like, yo, she's outsmarting people with powers and she don't have not a single power. And she's like pulling it off from just phrasing things a certain way, moving a certain way, whatever, and she's killing them off. And I'm like,
Little
yo, this is
baby
crazy.
lucky a genius.
Yeah. And she goes actually insane. But in that, during some of the episodes, you start to see like how people think, how society thinks, and where it shapes certain people, certain individuals of like enemies or aliens or things that we say we fight, and when it's really just ourselves, honestly, and what we don't know. It's wild.
That's why I always tell people, I'm like, I will always choose cartoons or animation over reality TV, bro, because it's realer than the reality TV.
100%. 100%. They can do so much more to allude to what seems so fake. Because if you tried to do it in like a, watching Avatar, the regular cartoon versus watching the real movie, people are like, yo, this shit is trash. Of course, because you're putting a concept that seems so unimaginable into a real life person, and you can't imagine that. You can't fathom that.
Even though we have had, because like we both are in media and production, even though we have had these advancements with these cameras, and even shout out to Unreal Engine, one of my favorite developer programs, bro. They made Unreal Engine made Maldalorian, and they make some of the best video games, graphics,
Unreal Tournament, all of that.
Yeah, bro. And I was watching some of the clips from the Call of Duty tournament the other night. I think Atlanta, they no, Toronto kicked Miami out, and I think Atlanta won last night. They won the first round. But it was crazy. Like, bro, the way technology is advancing right now is wow. And shout out to Terrence Howard, because I truly believe the information that bro is contributing with him explaining that people are idiots and they don't know math still out of all these
Listen, man, people not gonna understand that, man. You know what I mean?
Bro, the way he bring you, do you know that, and I've had to say this like to other people, do you know that the whole metaverse, the whole Web3 system that
created by him?
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that is nuts. People would try and put you in a box because I know, not just in my mind, Oliver didn't know who bro was. I'm like,
I mean, Oliver's like 22, 23.
I'm like, you don't know about what's that trick, bro? I was like, I know. I played football and stuff, and I was like, we was in the locker room. Everybody was like, DJ is my name, and I came to. I'm like, how don't you? These niggas got Grammy. I'm like 3-6 Mafia. I'm like, I gave him a pass on 3-6. I'm like 3-6 Mafia, kind of extreme for your lifestyle.
Man, they don't know none of that, bro. I put him on so much people that I forgot how many people I put him on. I just stopped keeping track. I'm like, man, I don't know. It's a different age. It's a different era. And I feel like that's just going to develop that way. And there's going to be a huge disconnect between generations, because right now we have the boomers and Gen X retiring. And the millennials and Gen Z don't want their shit. And so there's about to be a lot of shit going crazy, because they, not only that, but this is your category, they definitely don't have trusts. They don't have any of that stuff. And so the wealth transfer is going to be up in the air for a lot of different companies in a lot of different ways.
And there really is no social security benefits left for like our generation. So that money is going to go to those elderly, and a lot of us are going to be forced in order to figure it out for ourselves, or we're going to be on the new digital social security system, whatever that may be. But like I said, bro, the way how technology is advancing, the information Terrence Howard has brought to the forefront to the public is things that people keep in the background. But I'm thankful that he did that, because now that information, that's like going open source. You have private IP, and then somebody piss you off and be like, I'm just gonna give it to the world. I'm like, that is next level dangerous. I respect it. That's Eric Snowden type shit, bro.
Yeah.
Because he's being disruptive, and that's why I put him and Isaac Hayes in the same boat, because Isaac Hayes III, the creator of Fanbase, because he's also being disruptive, but in a proper way with technology. And the direction we're gonna be going in when it comes to podcasting is going to scale over into streaming, and then we're also going to start seeing more digital advertisements that are not flat screens, that are going to be out physical. Like when you see like Minority Report and all the old movies, all of that stuff has already been built. They just have to start being able to integrate it on mass levels.
Bro, it's already created. I forget the guy's name, and I'm gonna send you the video after this. It's already embedded into our phones for them to send advertisements while we sleep, which is why, and this is just me on some natural shit, like EMF cases, RFID type cases, like stuff like this.
Trust me, I got them.
Like,
I got one too.
You know what I'm saying? Like people underestimate, like, yo.
And that's why I don't get none of that on my BlackBerry, bro. That's why I still have a BlackBerry. None of that shit comes to my BlackBerry. I don't Siri's not on the iPhone. I have my own AI. Like if I cut on my phone and I make a voice command, it's going to kick back everything that I want in my own system. I don't share my IP across other people's platforms, because I don't trust these people, and you don't get to leverage off of or build a repository off of my brain. Only people who are going to benefit from that repository are the people in my community, because all the questions that I give to Joyce, that's what her name is currently. All the questions I get to Joyce, it gets pulled into my personal AI persona, and then as it builds up the repository, they get to ask all of the questions in the community, and then it just pulls the information. So if I want to put a new book in there, or if I create a new trust style or something like that, I just put it in there. So we have our own Chat GPT type stuff, bro. We don't trust other people's systems. Yeah. And we as melanated people should be comfortable with, having our own stuff. That's why I rock with Isaac Hayes, because he was like, I don't want to be on these apps. I got my own apps. He still hates the fact that he has to be on Instagram till this day, bro.
Yeah. You got to be part of the shit low key in order to not be part of the shit.
What they say, don't be of the world, but be in the world, or something like that.
It's a weird spectrum, man. It's a weird spectrum.
No, so we got the Cookout and the podcast summit. If somebody wants to come on your podcast, or if they want to get some mentorship from you, can you also tell me a little bit about like how you work with your mentorship stuff before we get out of here, bro?
Yeah, so you mentioned if somebody wants to come on a podcast, even for that, I feel like I'm gonna slow down on the rate of bringing people on the podcast, because I have been getting paid for people to come on the podcast, but I've chosen to give back a lot more money and not release episodes, because for one, y'all motherfuckers be boring, and two, y'all be capping.
You giving them the money back? The episode was that bad?
It's not even that it's that bad. I just feel like you don't present enough value to my audience. And it's not on no disrespectful shit, but it's just like, yo, if we gonna have an hour-long conversation, I want them to be able to actually tap in, actually receive some value, rather than you just trying to make yourself look better to make a sales point. That's not what this is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what my podcast is. Attractive Mindset is to let people understand, a certain level of success comes in a lot of different forms. Not, I'm gonna make this sound like the empathy, sympathy central and buy my product. The what? How the fuck we get here? You know what I'm saying? And so even when it comes to my coaching, like, I have a lot of different mentees. I have a lot of different students. Some make more money than me, and that's okay because we have to understand the dynamic of we are all here for different specialties. And I'm a mindset coach. They don't have the type of mindset that I have when it comes to certain things, and that's where I excel and I provide my value when it comes to certain money topics. I strategically tell them, hey, you might want to talk to this person. You might want to go see this person. And that's cool because I have my category. I'm great at my category and I follow my category. It's what I love to do. And so when somebody comes to me and like, yo, you should get into this and do that. And the main thing that they tell me is fucking real estate. I don't want to do real estate. I understand the benefits of real estate. Yes, I understand that it does help on monstrous levels and that I don't want to do it. Period. You know what I'm saying? If that makes my life a little bit harder, I understand that, but I rather live my life on my terms than to not live my life on my terms.
In today's current economy, I don't recommend nobody really getting the real estate right now. At least not like that. You better off investing in REITs, which is real estate investment funds, versus you actually physically investing in the real estate, bro. Because it's a headache. Take it from a damn homeowner. I just got another house in Michigan. And that's why I still got an apartment in Florida, because I don't want to have to do the things in Florida that I do for my house in Michigan.
Yeah.
I just put fucking mulch down and everything before I left. Garage door had to be fixed, like new dryer, all types of things. But like
Yeah.
that's where it comes with home ownership at the apartment, all that stuff taken care of. I'm like, one of my blinds broke, come fix it. They come do it.
Yeah. That exactly where I am. I live in a studio. You know what I'm saying? Like my landlord, take care of the backyard, take care of the driveway, take care of this. My AC goes down, she fixes it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. I'm okay to pay that. And I pay it at a less price. Oh, but you don't own it. Okay. Just like Jay-Z said, owning 100% of something don't make it great. You know what I mean? And with that extra money, I have a physical office space. I have two physical office space, one in Florida, one in New York. You know, and so people are too focused, like, don't nobody come over my crib. You know what
And
I'm
it's all
saying?
about
Like, I don't need to have some glorified crib type shit. Like, yo, but people come to my business. People come to my studios.
man, my house be busting like a part. Everybody be over here playing Call of Duty and shit.
Yeah, see, I don't be on that. I be my crib to me is I play games, watch TV, and sleep. Like I don't have no exciting shit in my
It
crib.
just, I'm about to say, it only be people you know. You know, I don't like
Yeah,
people. It'd be like,
right.
it'd be Jay and Shine or Parker pull up every night. And then we'd just be over here kicking it, because most of the time we'll be working, or either like I finish my work and Jay'll be coding or something. So I just get on the game until I wait for them to go so we can go grab food. But it's we got a good community, and I'm thankful for all of y'all, because one thing that is difficult when you do build yourself up to what you were always meant to be, as far as, like that king, that boss, that emperor, and you are fortunate enough to meet other people who operate on that frequency. It makes it a lot better versus you having to stand alone or always feeling like everybody needs something from you.
Yeah.
So like, I'm thankful that everybody is doing something, bro, and we all working towards our goals.
No, 100%. And even to that term, which is a whole nother topic for another time, I don't believe everybody king and queens either. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
no, I said no. You're right. I was talking about us specifically.
Yeah, no, I know what you meant, but yeah, I don't believe everybody king and queens either. Like, yeah, y'all need to take that shit out of like, oh nah, respect this queen or respect this king. No, that I don't feel like
You want to see something before we go? I'm about to show you something.
because even if they want to start bringing up African villages and all of that, like, yo, you want to bring up Black Panther? Yeah, there was one T'Challa, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody got to be the regular person.
Yeah, everybody wasn't kings and queens. Okay, so I have to show. I show my OG this. Yeah, she is like, don't. She is like, y'all can't call me that no more. Hold on, share screen, etymology right here, etymology online. Etymology is the origins of words, right?
Mm-hmm.
So queen, female noble consort of king, sovereign woman ruling, blah blah blah. queen, female, woman, wife, right? So we scroll down through queen mother, Danish, Sweden, Norse. So when I want to do wife now, when we scroll, this is a word I don't use, especially for being married almost 10 years. Because right here, Dutch wife now means in slang girl babe, having softened someone from the earlier sense of bitch. So the word wife has origins of the B word, which is in relation to queen. You see this? Boom, 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 boom. All right. So you said it earlier. We got to know these words, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't use that word for women I care about. If I call you that, it's probably because I'm being petty. Like, chill out, queen.
Yeah. Like the baby in his 20v1 or whatever. Somebody get this queen out of here, man.
Oh, bro. Well, before you go, make sure you shout out the podcast and your IG, bro.
Yeah, if y'all want to tap in, if y'all want to learn more about the podcast, learn more about me, I have a course coming out as well called Big Gains, Small Crowds, where we're looking at organic stuff. Huh?
You never even mentioned that. What's the course? So
the course is Big Gains, Small Crowds, how to monetize your audience when you barely have one, where we got real-time receipts. I show you my real-time accounts. There's multiple of them making real-time money on how you can monetize your audience when you barely have one. I got like 3,000 followers, but we still get checks every month. And yes, they're real. You know what I'm saying? And we're not running any ads, So
you talking about thousands, not little $100 checks, thousands.
Yeah. And so 5 figures for sure. And so it's like, okay, cool. We can do this with our audience, but because we're so caught up in authenticity, in ads, where of course, if you run a fucking certain amount of ads, you're gonna get a certain amount of traffic. Duh. Yeah, that's what ads do. What? Why wouldn't you? People be excited over spending money on ads.
He's like, don't fall for this dumb shit. Bro. ClickFunnels is one of the worst scams I've ever seen. Whenever somebody try and get me on ClickFunnels, I'll be ready to choke them. I'm like, bro, I'm not paying $1 million in ad spend just to reach new people. I don't even give a damn. I'm like, if they want it, they'll find me.
And there's a method to the madness. I'm not mad at ads. I might even have some ads go out, but it has to be for a reason. It's not going to be for audience growth. You don't need to have ads for audience growth. You might need ads to reach a certain message to certain people, which is cool. But when people start talking about, oh, look how many people I got from this and that. Yeah, you paid for that. Of course you got shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to learn,
you paid for it.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to learn organic methods to really grow your audience and monetize your audience, even when you barely have one, then that's that course for you. More information will be in my bio. If you want to follow me on social media at RealMoneyBagRich on all platforms. If you want to tap into the podcast at Attractive Mindset Pod on all platforms as well. And yeah, if that interests you and you want to tap in for mentorship or coaching, or if you don't, you stop by the page, say what you got to say. Don't say anything. Follow, don't follow. It's all cool. It's all good.
No, but make sure y'all make y'all way to Miami for September. You don't want to miss the cookout. Like bro said, you are formally invited. Just don't get uninvited.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, bro, it's been a pleasure having you. And this has been another great episode of Trust Fund Baby Podcast. Peace.